What's up, you guys? It's Zamara, and today I bring you a topic that I'm very happy to just go ahead and discuss because I have learned to just be an overall positive person and somebody who just says positive things. So, of course, I had to make a video about this at some point. So, this is going to be the stuff that attracts me about men, the opposite sex. So yeah, let's dive right into it. First of all, there is so much stuff that is awesome about guys that I just can't focus on just one. I'm just going to name them all right? All that I can think of. So yeah, let's dive into it. First and foremost, their strength. Like their ability to exert themselves physically in ways that for me as a girl I just can't. Now there are some women out there who are super strong, and I gotta say that's a combination of genetic blessings, I guess, advantages, factors, and then some of it is, a little less appealing, which is when you mess with enhancements. And this happens a lot in the world of sports, but yeah, not to say anything bad about us, but I'm just saying that more regularly than not, I am accustomed to seeing guys and their strength, and women show strength, but differently. But it can also be physical, so I guess at some point I should make a video about females. But for now, let's focus on the guys, all right? So yeah, like I just can't help but admire when I'm either at the gym or at my job and I see guys picking stuff up effortlessly that normally I need to start sweating about. So I'm just glad that they and their powers exist. Additionally, their voice. I just love listening to the sound of a man's voice, especially when we're like snuggling or cuddling and then my ear is like pressed against their chest. It's so soothing. It's like I can't even say it without feeling all happy about it. It's just soothing. Normally we associate based on some study, like I forget, but I read this a while ago about how we tend to prefer higher pitched voices as people because they're like more friendly or whatever. Well, for me, even in music, I like lower tones better. So yeah, for me, it's just amazing. And sometimes some guys' voices are so deep that even when you're standing a few feet away from them, you can still feel like their chest, how it resonates, how their sound resonates. And yeah, for me, my boyfriend, sometimes he gets in a rambling mood, and I love it. I don't want to interrupt him because to me, his voice is like music. He's speaking with his accent and stuff, like for everybody else it's just normal speech, but him particularly, he has like that perfect balance to where he's not like a tenorish, he's not high pitched, but he's not like a thunder type of voice either. It's for me it's perfect, and I guess that interacting with him so much just makes me get used to it, and I might have a slight bias, but anyway, guys in general, they just sound fantastic to me. um Additionally, they have this fix it mentality, repairing mentality. I just love it. It's like they never see the problems, they just see what's gonna come out of it, the solution, the conclusion. And I just love that because for me, regularly, I get frustrated sometimes very easily. I've come a long way, that's for sure. But sometimes I still have my moments when I just want to give up. And sometimes I think of male figures in my life and I'm like, how would so and so do it? How would my boyfriend do it? How would so, just, I just think about the guys in my life who have influenced me. Now, there are some women who have also this, you know, they have this type of mentality as well. But for me, in my life, I have met more guys that are like this than women. So that's why I'm going to also zoom in on the guys a little more. And this is the guys video. So I'm trying to stay on topic. Additionally, the way they manifest when accompanying a lady, like the hand holding, the embracing in a protective way, like embracing us protectively. It's like, you know, I've never felt insecure when I'm embraced by a man. But, well, put it this way, a man who I'm involved with, because I'm not really hanging out with guys in this way. Not everybody who I hang out with who's a guy, I'm with this way, you know? Yeah, yeah, it's limited to that special someone. And of course, the door opening and them holding it, and when they just randomly dress to impress. Normally, I don't really have a guy in my life who's like really pimp about what he wears or whatever. But I have met folks who are like that. I have dated folks who are like that, who they will get the best out of the closet just to impress you. And to me, the effort really counts, and it says a lot about them. But I really don't mind the way a guy looks as long as he's, you know, clean. And even when he's not clean, I understand it. You know, I'm not obsessing. Like, sometimes I remember my boyfriend would be, oh, yeah, he would like back away. He would be hesitant to like hug me. And I'm like, dude, just hug me. I understand that you just got through working out. You just came back from work. I'm not going to reject you. I wouldn't like if you rejected me. And, you know, sometimes when he's sick, he also tends to like stay away. And I'm like, I know some stuff is particularly gross, you know, but I'm not going to reject you. I just don't have the heart to reject someone's like affectionate advances, especially someone who I love. You know, I just feel all kinds of wrong. It's like, I like you, I love you, so I'm going to stick with you through good and bad, you know? So this is a way of demonstrating it. And additionally, when I hang out with guys, especially my boyfriend, I'm always surprised at their ability to just magically uplift me with like a compliment, their humor, and their touch, caressing, call it whatever. It's like, it helps me snap out of my issue to where it doesn't seem so big anymore. And yeah, they're just soothing for me. It just works. And I'm so blessed and happy that I have these types of male figures taking place in my life. Because when I was growing up, I did not have the most positive view of men. So it took lots of growing up and maturing and integration with them to change my opinion completely. And I'm happy that it's happened. Unfortunately, just like there are bad women out there, there are bad men out there. So there's always, in every group, there's always going to be someone who's going to stain the portrait. But, you know, it's not something that we can't manage. Also, something else that I've come to learn about guys is their ability to overcome tragedy. Let me explain. For me personally, when I am overcome with grief, I become affected extremely, like mentally and sometimes even physically, to where I cannot manifest myself the way I regularly do without some assistance or without being checked up on. Now that I'm getting older, I'm doing better with that, but the best examples I have had of people who regain their composure quickly has been from guys. Like, I'll never forget when I was with my boyfriend accompanying him during a family event, where someone passed in his family, very important figure. It was one of his parents, and he was grieving, but it's not like you had to really think or stress about how you're going to say something. You could be yourself. He was still being himself. He was still having good days. He was still having fun. He was grieving and, going through the stages of it. But he didn't change. For me, sometimes when I have such grief, it's like, sometimes it's a combination of me not wanting to see anybody, but at the same time, don't leave me alone. It's like I go through this roller coaster of emotions, and I just wish I were wired a little differently. But I'm just so happy that I spent that time with him, and that he doesn't know, but he led me by example on that day, and I will forever thank him for it, because had I not seen him in that during that time, I would probably still just struggle even more when it comes to loss and tragedy and stuff like that. Also, tell me about when you get to a guy's tender heart. It's like they'll spoil you, and they'll go out of your way, or out of their way for you, without you even asking. Like, sometimes I feel bad because I'm like, dang, I feel like I'm being abusive, but at the same time, I don't want to turn you down, because I know as a guy, that's just what you do. But then it's like, yeah, keep it going. But at the same time, I want to be able to determine when to say no, because for me, there just has to be a limit. Like, it's cool if he can spoil you all the time, then I should let him do it, right? Well, that's just, I don't know. To me, it helps me feel well when I can say, hey, not this time, or I got this, but thanks for thinking about me and stuff. And then another time, yeah, stuff like that. It's really hard to put into words, but I'm just happy that they can be like that, so selfless, despite being, normally it's like they're just providers, and that's awesome. But at the same time, I want to also make sure that they know that I'm not being abusive. So when I say, hey, can I borrow this, and I'll bring it back by so and so day, I will make sure that I return it by so and so day. And like when I ask for some money, I let them know exactly when they can expect to get it back, so that there's no trick, there's no deceiving. I don't want to mess up their cycles, with their finances. I always say, if you can, that's great. If not, I'll figure this out. So yeah. Also, the way that they demonstrate determination, it's like whenever they don't give up until the goals are just fulfilled. This can be in video games, online, everything. Like in video games, some guys just won't go to bed until they beat a specific level. It doesn't matter how many retries it takes, they just hang in there. And let's say people who use computers a lot, and they're setting up a website, it's like, no, I cannot go to bed until I get this module to do this and that. For me, sometimes I'm like, you forget that, I'll get back to it whenever. But no, guys are just, doesn't matter how like dead tired they are, they'll hang in there. Yeah. And then I think this next one has to be one of the most adorable ones for me, but their appetite, like their vulnerability with food, especially sweets. Like my boyfriend, he has a weak spot for just desserts, like pies and cakes and stuff. And like, it's awesome because sometimes if you mention something, it'll stay in his head, and like, so at some point in the day, he's going to go out to get whatever it is that you recommended, or like say that you mention cinnamon pretzels, it's gonna be like, you really wanna, you really make this man want to get up and go to the mall and get one, you know? So I just think it's awesome, and he's not the only person I've met who's like that, you know? Like they have this uh spirit, let's go get this and get that, and you know, food, you know? It's like a never ending appetite. All right, you guys, this is all that I have for you on this matter. I hope that you enjoyed my rambling about guys. This is something I don't regularly do. In fact, I never discussed this really. I've probably done this once, maybe twice, with like two separate people. But I'm just glad that I was able to finally say it, and for my opinion to have the potential of reaching a broader audience. Because if I were to go out right now and talk to people, people who I feel comfortable with, and we get into topics of relationships and which guy is hot and whatnot, I still feel like I wouldn't open up like this. And this is a better perspective to address this for me. So, yeah, I'm just glad that it's out there, it's out of the way, and I'm just. Alright, you guys, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.